I would argue that God is looking for a friend to walk with. For in Genesis 3:8, we see that God walked with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day. That even when they fell, God was simply ready for his regular walk with them and asked where they were. In fact, a handful of key people in the Bible that we know for certain were so close to God, it says they walked with him. Adam, then Enoch in Genesis 5:22 through 24, Noah in Genesis 6:9, and Abraham, Genesis 24:40. Each of these people had such a close relationship with God, and we know that from stories that were told in the things that they did. Adam, the first man created. Enoch, the man that never died. Noah, the only man found righteous and therefore saved the human race during the flood. Abraham, the father of faith. I think it's by no mistake that God used specific language that highlighted how they walked with him. For I believe God wants to walk with us before he works through us, that he wants to work with his friends because it's a partnership. And I want to specifically highlight Enoch. In Genesis 5:22 through 24, it says, Then Enoch walked with God 300 years after he became the father of Methuselah, and he had other sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And specifically with Enoch, it says that he walked with God twice. Of all the different people that it says that God walked with, he's the only one where it's specifically highlighted twice. And I think repetition in the Bible is very key, and it highlights something of importance. And he specifically walked with God and was alive for 365 years. Why 365 years? If God didn't want him to die, he could have taken him at any point. So why did God choose that number? I don't know exactly why, but my guess is because 365 is the amount of days within a year. And so God highlighted that Enoch got it so much that he knew what it was like to walk with God every single day of every single year. And so he highlighted that 365 days to show us that he wants to walk with us every single day of our lives. For he didn't want any separation from Enoch. And in fact, that's why Jesus came down to save us, because God doesn't want any separation with us. And so when you walk with someone, relationship happens. You are journeying together, talking to each other, sharing secrets, commenting on creation, etc. And the more time you spend with a friend, the more you know them and they know you. That's where relationship is built. That's where trust increases. And personally, I never want God to say, I never knew you. I want God to say, I knew you, you walked with me, I trusted you, and look at what we did. So accept God's invitation today to go for a walk, and every single day.